Jumping on to do another breaking news segment. Today has been crazy with the sort of response videos, but so many things going on relating to Trump's national, global embarrassment that took place today. Volodymyr Zelenskyy went on Fox News after the exchange with Donald Trump, where Trump and Vance berated him and were being belligerent, and we've discussed it a bunch today. I won't relitigate all of that. But I want to go through these clips, and we'll just go ahead and jump right into it. As always, if you appreciate these updates, delivering this to you, please do click the subscribe button on YouTube. Here's Zelenskyy with Brett Baer.
Do you think the public spat in the Oval Office in front of the media served Ukrainians well today?
I think this kind of spat is this is not good for both sides anyway, and I very open, but I can't change our Ukrainian attitude to Russian, and I don't want they kill us for us. This is very, very clear that Americans are the best of our friends, Europeans are the best of our friends, and Putin with Russian, their enemies. And it doesn't mean that we don't want peace. We just want to recognize the reality.
Yes, are you kidding me, Brett Baer? Are you kidding me? Is a public spat like this, is that helping the Ukrainian people? Who was engaging in the public spat? Because we thoroughly watched that. And Zelenskyy was just very calmly saying, we want peace, but we also need guarantees that a peace agreement won't immediately be violated, because we want lasting peace. And so if we can get that, great. But just saying, let's take Putin's word for it, and he'll temporarily pause the invasion but take all the territory he currently has, then that's not really any different than the past times we made such promises and they didn't end up being fulfilled by Putin. Again, I know a lot of this is repetitive, what we talked about all day. And Zelenskyy then, once he started getting shouted at by Trump and Vance, just really sat there quietly. There's no spat. There was no spat. It was a total attack that seemed a little bit pre-planned, an ambush on Zelenskyy for the purpose of who knows what. But we know it does serve Putin's interest for sure. Just before getting back to clips from this interview, I thought that Adam Kinzinger, a former Republican congressman who doesn't know what has happened to his party, I thought it was interesting what he said here.
I mean, this was shameful. This was really, I've never been embarrassed to be an American, and today was embarrassing, and it was awful. I mean, let's keep in mind, Volodymyr Zelenskyy had an opportunity to flee Ukraine when Russia attacked, and he stayed. Is there anybody that has any doubt whether or not Donald Trump would flee the country if we were attacked?
The U.S., European leaders, whenever Russia invaded, were saying, Zelenskyy, you can come stay in our country and govern sort of from afar, because we're worried that Kyiv is going to fall in mere days, and then you're going to have a brutal, torturous murder by the Russians. And Zelenskyy said, I'm staying. I'm staying with my people. If my people are here, I'm here. Would Trump do that? You can answer that question in the comments. Then this.
During all these years, 10 years.
So I'm not hearing from you, Mr. President, a thought that you owe the president an apology.
No, I respect the president and I respect American people. And I think that we have to be very open and very honest. And I'm not sure that we did something bad. I think maybe sometimes some things we have to discuss out of media, with all respect to democracy and to a free media. But there are things where we have to understand the position of Ukraine and Ukrainians. And I think that is the most important thing.
Yeah, so he's saying, no, I mean, he's not really addressing the question, but he said no a little bit, but then went, but I respect Trump. But what? Again, I get I guess these are the questions that that people think Brett Baer should ask. But what are you going to apologize? What would he apologize for? If anyone needs, Trump needs to apologize. This would be different if Zelenskyy went in belligerently and was saying, America, you don't do enough for us. He didn't do that. And then Vance went, you should say thank you more. Zelensky's constantly saying thank you while his soldiers are the ones dying. Okay, we give some aid. Cool. I'm glad that we have. But it's Ukrainians actually doing the dying. Do they think, I guess they think in their new world order sort of mind, but do they think that it's in the U.S.'s interest for Russia, through murderous military invasions, expanding its territory, influence, and empire, and attaining of resources so that more people can live under less freedom and more people can live under less rights, and all in the interest of a stronger Russian regime? Do they think that's in the United States' interest? Because right now Ukraine's the one stopping that. So what does Zelenskyy have to apologize for being so polite, too polite, to Donald Trump?
The Democratic senator said that Trump has become Putin's lapdog. Do you agree with that President Trump is too close to Vladimir Putin in your mind?
We spoke about it, and I think today very openly President Trump, he said that I want to be in the middle, otherwise I will not put these guys at the table.
And is he right?
I want to be very honest, I want really him to be more at our side. I will explain why. Because it's not just that the war began somewhere between our countries. The war began when Russia brought this war to our country, and they're not right. And they
exactly. It's very disturbing. This has to be explained by him. It really is. But then you have all the Republicans going out and going, Trump was so strong. We love him. He's so amazing. The orange Jesus. Yay. And not standing on principle. I don't think you can say Trump is the leader of the free world anymore. It doesn't mean America doesn't and shouldn't and can't stand for that. And hopefully that will recover. But Donald Trump, to be the leader of the free world, you have to stand as the leader of the free world. And that's not what he's doing.
Your relationship with Donald Trump, President Trump, after today, can be salvaged.
Can be. Yes, of course, because it's relations more than two presidents. It's the historical relations, strong relations between our people. And that's why I always began with to thank your people, from our people. And this is the most important. And of course,
it's really interesting the way that he words that. I just need to keep emphasizing this because it is really difficult to, in such a high stakes scenario, thoughtfully articulate one's point. That's difficult. That's difficult for me every day on the show when I'm not on, one of the biggest platforms in the world. We're close. One of the biggest platforms in the world after one of the most consequential meetings in history. It's difficult for me just here to always feel like I'm nailing my delivery and getting my thoughts across. And I'm speaking in the language, the only language I've spoken my whole life. He's having to speak not in his first language. And still, that point, I think, is really profound. Which is, of course, our relationship can be salvaged. On Zelensky's end, he's fine. No matter how disgusting Trump's actions are towards him. Because it's about more than us as people. It's about the relationship between our countries. There's something bigger than just are my fifis hurt. But with Trump, he feels personally slighted. Boom. He'll change seismically U.S. policy because he personally has a boo-boo.
You were told multiple times from lawmakers on Capitol Hill and the White House to make today about the minerals deal and the economic deal, and then get it signed and let negotiations play out over security guarantees step by step. Is that true?
I said that we have to sign this document, and we are ready for this, and this will be the first step to security guarantees, but it's not enough. I think so. Maybe I don't know something. I don't know some details. That's why I wanted to share it with the president, my thoughts, and to hear him again, because he has a plan how to stop Putin. And maybe, as I said, maybe it's out of big conversation.
I love it. He always has to say that to make Trump feel good. I'm just, I know that Trump has a plan to stop Putin. I just like to know what it is.
But we have to share it. This is so sensitive. Just a ceasefire without security guarantees. This is so sensitive for our people. I'm speaking like a president of a people who are in this struggle 3 years, and they just want to hear that America on our side and that America will stay with us, not with Russia, with us. That's it. But I'm sure that it will be. This is the first step.
Yeah, so the mineral deal that they're talking about, the rare earth minerals and different natural resources, that the agreement was going to be signed today. It didn't end up because of Trump's meltdown. And it was going to essentially, the United States would be given economic benefits, not the deal that was originally proposed to the tune of $500 billion. It's actually right now undefined what the exact amount we would be allocating for this purpose from their resources, but a certain amount, and in exchange, we invest in their reconstruction in the wake of peace. But understandably, when this comes up, Trump always, it's not Zelensky's fault for bringing it up, Trump always brings up the Russia-Ukraine part of it all, understandably. And so then Zelensky's saying very calmly, every time that comes up, yes, we want Putin to stop. You keep screaming peace at me, but I'm not the one preventing peace, it's Putin. And we just need, in exchange for the concessions that we would presumably hand over, security guarantees. Guarantees that through European or U.S. support or both, Ukraine will be guaranteed that there will be some restriction of Russia's ability to continue invading than this.
Do you want to continue fighting? Do you want peace? And if he had the opportunity to go back to the White House right now, would you do it?
No. First of all, we want peace. That's why I'm in the United States. That's why I visited President Trump. And thanks for the invitation again. The deal on minerals is the first step to security guarantees. It's meant for the peace, closer to peace. That's why I'm here. And we have tough situation. To understand it is to be in Ukraine. You saw it, Brad. You was once. Thank you again. So I think that's very important to understand what's going on. But
he doesn't say thank you enough, except for like 3 times in that one sentence or that one paragraph. It's the wrong question. Do you want to fight or do you want peace? Peace! Which they had more of, not completely, because there was still the conflict in eastern Ukraine and in Russia was attempting different things, but they had more peace before Russia did this invasion. So they want peace, obviously. Lasting peace, not peace for 3 days so that Putin can make sure that all the weapons are stocked. Lasting peace. The broken paradigm is baffling of so many of these folks. Share your thoughts in the comments. I've said that a lot today. Goodness gracious.